Boa noite. Good evening, everybody. So I want to share something with you about my life, personal life. I'm living with my sister, my young sister, since actually for 2 years now. And my parents are not in Rio anymore. They moved for another city. And I found myself in a very hard situation because she's 14 years old and I am alone helping to take care of her. And I think this problem is very common among parents and also single parents. So how they do to raise like little child in Rio, or that we don't have full-time school, and they have, to work all day, full-time jobs, come back, still playing with kids. So I started to look for a solution, and I found Jolly. It's an app that connects play space owner and recreation worker to offer like new play sessions in the neighborhood, actually in over Rio, in a lot of different neighborhoods, in spaces that they were there before, but they didn't offer anything. So I think it's a very cool solution, and I want to book something with you guys for my sister, right? We'll try to see something next Tuesday, maybe, for 8 a.m., because I want her to wake up early. And in Botafogo, it will be our neighborhood. Let's see what we have. Okay, jump class, toy painting, drama class. She's kind of drama, but maybe she will like better jump class. Right, Annie? I'm right? You prefer jump, right? And okay, here we can check like all the requirements for this play session, and also how is the recreation worker, Juan. Let's see the reviews, and actually I think I know him. So we have to be logged in to see like details of this page. As I was saying, Juan's a very good one, and he had a lot of 5 stars. And I already put some stars for him. So that's cool. Let's see if we can book this session for her. Yeah. So to book here, Annie, her name, she's 14, yes. And let's say that she's allergic to peanuts, because we don't know if they offer peanuts there. With jumping would not be a good idea. And confirm. So now it's very easy, just proceed to payment. Yes, this class. So I have my mom's credit card, what is good. And we just have to pay now. Okay, Annie, are you ready to jump? That's it. Thank you.
All right, guys, good evening. So raise your hand if you like to eat out. Okay, now keep your hands in the air if you find it difficult to select a restaurant. Oh, yes, me too. I am constantly in this situation. I find myself several times a week I'm struggling to find a place to eat out with coworkers or my girlfriend or going to bars with friends. It seems like an endless conversation of back and forth. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? And it goes on and on and on until somebody gets hungry enough that they finally make a decision, right? So that's why I was so happy when my friend Pedro mentioned this app to me called Random Meal. He said it would solve all my problems. So I just downloaded it. Let's check it out together. All right, so, okay, it looks like it has my current location, which is great. I'll set the distance to 5 miles. I don't want to travel too far. Not in the mood for, let's check this out. Not in the mood for fast food or Japanese. Okay, price range, let's see. Don't want to go too expensive, but don't want to go too cheap either. And randomize, let's see what happens. Oh, okay, cool. So, looks like it's picking a restaurant. Oh, okay. So we have pizza and sia. Italian food, it's not too expensive, but let's look what else we can find. Okay, a cafe. I might have some coffee before dinner, so that sounds good. Let's go. Oh, it opens it in Google Maps. Okay, let's see if we can find out. Okay, only, let's see, it's 30 minutes away, doable. All right, but I'm gonna be back in New York next week, so let's see if this app will work there, because there are lots of restaurants in New York, and it's really hard to make a decision. So let me just type in my address in New York real quick, 329 3rd Avenue. Oh, let's see. All right, so let's see. Randomize. Hopefully it can find us a good place in New York. Oh, great. Little Sheep Mongolian Hot Pot. I love hot pot, so I'm in luck. All right, you guys, I'm going to go eat dinner. So thank you for your time. Good night.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. So last week, it was one of the best weeks of my life because I've been hired at Le Wagon as a bootcamp manager. Yes. And guess who is my new boss? It's Pedro, the co-founder of the Wagon in Latin America. So we know all him now. He's like a leader, he's like super communicative, but he's also like ambitious. And Friday evening, I had a meeting with him, and he explained me all his plan to conquer Latin America and to open bootcamp in new cities in Latin America. And we all know now, like all organization is about like people that you will hire in the bootcamp, like the teacher, the bootcamp manager, etc. So for Monday morning, he asked me to write all job offers about all the profiles that we're gonna hire for our new strategy. I've never done that. I was a little bit worried. I tried by myself on Google. I copy-paste all job offers that I found, but I didn't know which structure to use, etc. It was a bit messy, and I was a bit like really worried. So I called a friend who was working in the HR industry, and he advised me to use JobHub. And I didn't know JobHub, and he told me that it's really like an intuitive tool and easy to use tool to create job offer. So let's have a look to JobHub to see how it works and if it can help me to pass like a good weekend. And okay, let's create a job offer first. So the first position that Pedro asked me to fill in, it's a finance controller. Because now with the coronavirus, he wants to be sure that all the finance are under control. So it's a position to work here at the headquarters of Le Wagon in Rio. So we just have to fill in those 3 fields. Yeah, let's see what's. Oh, okay. So I can already see like some information about the company, Le Wagon. So the name, the company type, it's the sector of education, and a short description of the company. Let's move on. I think it's pretty good. Okay, so job title, finance controller. Type of contract is a full-time. It's even more than a full-time because he works for the Wagon, so he has to work quite a lot and be really motivated. And he asked me also to hire experienced finance controller, so at least 5 years of experience, I would say. Yeah, perfect. So, okay, look at this. So now I didn't know anything about what's the skills of a finance controller, and JobHub returns me all the skills that are useful for a finance. So let's say that, okay, of course he needs to deal with general accounting, he needs to coach people, to coach future employee, and also he needs to perform accounting entries because we want to keep the book clean. Okay, of course he has a bachelor in accounting because he's a financial controller. He needs to handle with spreadsheet software like Excel, etc. We are in Brazil, open, a lot of foreigners, so he needs to speak Portuguese and English. And it's a really competitive market, so we want to be sure that we want to attract this talent into Le Wagon. So we will offer him a company car, let's say, and a gym subscription. Membership, yes. Okay, let's go. Oh, that's insane. So I didn't write anything, and JobHub, with all that I selected, turned me like this job offer with all the text, all the skills, everything that I selected, and now I can share this nice job offer into a PDF. I can launch my campaign. I can share this job offer with my friends. So I will be able to perform all these job offers in this weekend for all the profits that I need. So that's a really good job. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Leo Martinez, and here's the thing. I grew up in the city. I loved video games and staying indoors, and I actually grew up not caring for plants at all. And actually, I really, really love food, though. And it wasn't until like 19 or 20 years old that I realized where food comes from. I thought that food just came from the supermarkets, and that medicine just came from the pharmacy or the doctor. Maybe when I was 19 or 20, I really made the connection that most of the food or the medicine that we consume comes from plants. And when I made this connection, I started doing a lot more research, and unfortunately came to learn that our food system is inherently broken. So most of the food that we're consuming in supermarkets is coming from really far away. Most of the nutritional value is lost, and a lot of the things that are being grown in industrial practices that are not just bad for our bodies, but it's also detrimental for the environment, the soil, the earth, the water, and everything that lives around it. So when I learned this, I was really, really heartbroken, and I tried to make a decision to become a better food consumer and buy more organic and local sustainable. But it turns out that it's not that easy to do that. If you go to the grocery store, actually, when you try to buy organic, you don't really know where this food comes from. A lot of times it's just a marketing scheme and you're being ripped off and paying more for something that's not that good for you. And so when I realized all of this, I decided that I needed to learn where food comes from and how to grow my own food. And so I quit my job and I spent a bunch of time traveling to go to farms and homesteads and gardens and volunteer in exchange to learn more about how to grow food. And in this journey, the first time that I actually volunteered at a community garden, there was this woman that I helped out, and at the end of the day, she offered me these tomatoes as a thank you that she had just picked off of the vine. And I felt really bad because at that time I really, really did not like tomatoes. I hated tomatoes with a passion. And so I was really apologetic, but she insisted that I should take a bite of her tomato. And I did, if it was an apple. And it was the best, most juicy, delicious, incredible tomato I've ever had. And in that moment I realized, oh my God, if I hate tomatoes and I love this fresh tomato, then what have I been eating my whole life? And what else can I try that is fresh? And so I kept on in that journey for another year, and when I came back home, I started growing my own food, and in porch gardens and containers, herbs and stuff like that. And three of the main things that I learned is that one, nature is actually full of abundance. If we take care of the earth, then we could all be eating fresh, local, and sustainable food. This is a systems design flaw. Second of all, most of the growers and farmers are full of knowledge that they really, really love to share, just as much as they love sharing the food that they grow. And third of all, if food that is fresh and local and sustainable is so good, it's so delicious, it's really good for your body and good for the environment, then why are we so disconnected from all of this? And so in this journey, I sort of realized that all of these things, what they have in common is an issue of connection. We are so disconnected from nature and from where our food comes from that we don't know any of these things. And when I want to learn more about where I grow a specific kind of food, how to do it in my region, the internet is full of all kinds of responses and overload of information that is really overwhelming. But really, we should be cultivating this knowledge in our own local communities. And so I'm really excited to show you this website. It's called FreshCo, and it's a website to connect and share with local growers in your community. And so I'm going to show you, I already created a profile. I customize it, I put some flowers on there. You can add little badges to represent your groups. You can see my Venezuelan identity and my queer identity. And I added a little garden, which is my little garden right now. And you can see that I'm currently growing tomatoes and ají dulces. They're 9 days old, 11 days old, and they look like this right now. And it's really cool because people can just look at my growing situation and comment and exchange, give me tips. So I'm super excited about that. But actually I'm here because I really need some compost for my plants. And I ideally don't really want to pay very much for compost, and maybe we'll do a trade. And so one thing that's really cool is that if I go to the feed, this is all posts from people in my community that are growing all kinds of things and are sharing in real time updates about the food that they're growing, sharing tips, and connecting. And so actually up here, there's the supplies. And if I go here, there's someone that actually says, I have a bunch of extra compost if anyone needs some. So I'm going to go ahead and yes, I do. And I'm going to start that conversation because I want to jump in on that. And now that I'm here, I'm actually curious whether carrots are in season, if anybody's growing any carrots. Oh, and any good carrots in Rio? Someone's saying that they actually have some. So I'm not going to bother you with all of this. I'm just going to save this for later. But I think this is awesome that I can just like learn what my community is doing and growing. And actually, there is this nifty little map that shows me all of the people that are growing food around me. So I can look at them, I can check out their profiles, and connect with them, and share and exchange. So I'm really excited to be growing with my community, and I hope that this can help us plant the seeds to develop a better, more sustainable, delicious food system for a better world. Thank you.
Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. Hello, everyone. So, thank you all for coming. I would like to start with a question for you all. Who here likes carnival? I didn't listen, sorry. Who here likes carnival? Yeah. Who here likes caipirinha? Who here has coronavirus? You, kill him. So, me too, I love carnival, and I love caipirinhas. I can drink them all day during carnival. But there is a moment during carnival which after my 5,000 caipirinha, there is a moment that I really, 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 really need to pee. Does anyone here has ever had a problem finding a public bathroom during carnival? Yes, right? It's super hard. And when you really need it and you're in the sea of people, it's kind of a desperate situation. So, last carnival, that's a funny story. I was actually on the street and I tried to pee on the street. And I actually got arrested for that. And yeah, man. And my friend had to pay a fine for that. So this year, this friend of mine told me about this new app called IPP, which can actually show me all the bathroom points in Rio during Carnival. So, I don't know, I'm gonna check it out. So, IPP seems to be it. So, yeah, I really want to pee, so just run for it. So, I'm here at Gloria. Man, I didn't know there were so many bathrooms around me. So, this one seems to be close, 300 meters away, 3 stars. This one, 4 stars, and 280 meters away. So, I think I'm choosing this one for sure. So, okay, so, well, the problem is I don't know where my friends are. I just ran to the bathroom and I don't know where they are. So I think I'm about to share my position with the IPP team. Best team ever. Where's IPP? I'm here. So yeah, now they know my position. I can actually give a rate to this bathroom. I think this bathroom actually sucks. So I'm giving it 1 star just to finish. So now I think I can go back to my caipirinhas. Thank you very much.